Huddle with paperplusoffice.co.nz, your local office supplies specialist, now open for business.
19 to 6, Cameron Slater from whaleoil.co.nz, editor of Truth, is with me. Hello, Cam.
Hey, Larry.
And we have Josie Pagani back with us. Hello, Josie. Good to
Hi,
talk
Larry.
to you. And Cam, issue number one to you, Sky City deal. The numbers are impressive. There are two issues. One, the government cut a deal. Actually, there's a few issues, but government cutting a deal which extends the licence and a number of other things. And two, problem gambling. How do you see it? The benefits are significant.
Yeah, well, Sky City apparently quite disappointed. They didn't get everything they wanted. They didn't get a knighthood or a minister inside cabinet. But anyway, dirty deals aside, look, the big question for me, Larry, I can see what's in it for Sky City, more pokies, extension to the lease. I can't see what's in it for the New Zealand economy or Auckland, because conference centres and stadiums are sort of creatures of the 90s. Everyone had to have one. It was a bit like the arms race. You know, mine had to be bigger than yours. And so in the US, I came across a figure today. In the last 20 years, conference centres have increased by 50%, but the number of conventions has fallen. So two questions. Either the business case stacks up and convention centres make money, in which case have we just given away pokies for nothing, or it doesn't stack up, and the question is, why are we doing it?
Well, it's really easy, Josie, to answer that, and I'm surprised you haven't managed to find the answer to it after all of that big, long diatribe. The bottom line is, it's not costing ratepayers or taxpayers a cent.
But what's it doing, Ken?
It doesn't matter. Who cares? Sky City is wearing the loss. If there is one, why do you care about the losses of that, if there is such a thing?
If it's not contributing to the economy at all, then we've just given away a bunch of...
Well, no, you're saying, Josie, that it won't contribute. Of course it'll...
We've given nothing away. For 230 poker machines that will be sitting there taxing stupid people, we get a convention centre worth $402 million. Deal done. It's a brilliant deal. I can't see the problem.
You're talking like something out of the 1990s.
No, I'm not. Who cares? We're not paying for it.
People aren't using convention centres.
That's not our problem. That's Sky City's problem.
But why give away some big...
We've given nothing away.
Let's change the smoking legislation.
But we haven't given nothing away, Joe.
Okay, can I just come in? I mean, Josie, the problem with that argument is because the left are arguing that some of these other companies should have got to go. They didn't want to put any money, so you're suggesting the taxpayer put money in, and there's no conference being held. Of course there's going to be conferences.
I've never seen the business case, and I think if there's a business case to be made and this convention centre is good for Auckland and good for the economy, then it can stand on its own 2 feet. And why did we need to give anybody, any company, a bonus and a perk with pokies or whatever? You know, change the smoking laws so you can have...
It's a top deal, Larry.
The point is, can it stack up? And I haven't seen the evidence.
It's not our problem. It's Sky City's problem. They've got the business case.
We don't need jobs.
So here's the thing, right?
We don't need growth.
Well, hold on, Josie. They're saying 1,000 jobs to build the thing, and then 800 thereafter. Now you can dispute that all you like, but that's Cameron's actually right on this. That's the Sky City. They will. If they don't get the conferences, that's their loss. It's not the taxpayer or the ratepayers.
This is a sort of, back to the future bid, really. I mean, look, when I was at the OECD, I remember trying to get a big conference, international conference, based in Auckland because I was feeling loyal to my country. Could not get them, A, to travel this far, and B, to come to Auckland. They'd rather go to Sydney.
But it's not our problem. It's Sky City's problem. And the hypocrisy of the Labour Party and the Greens saying that this is evil. 8 Labour MPs accepted corporate box tickets to the Rugby World Cup from Sky City, so they seem to be okay when Sky City's handing out free tickets, but they're not okay with it when they're handing out free convention centres.
The conference centres and cycle pathways are it when it comes to the growth plan from this government. I'd be worried, Cam.
We'll come back in a moment. Josie Pagani and Cameron Slater on the Huddle. It's now 14 to 6. It's now 12 to 6, back with Cameron Slater and Josie Pagani. Just before we move off the casino, Cameron, this to you first. Quick word on Materia Ture saying that they will repeal the legislation. Here's what she says.
As a result, we are calling John Key and Sky City on their bluff. We can and we will legislate to repeal this dirty deal, and we won't be threatened by John Key or Sky City with this contract.
What do you say, Cam?
Well, it's just the Green Taliban again, isn't it, causing economic and business mayhem with threats of legislation and repeals. This is the sort of thing that makes investors nervous. It's the sort of thing that causes capital flight. But they've they've become emboldened with these threats now. They did the new NZ Power thing, so now they're going to threaten a convention centre and 800 permanent jobs and everything else that goes along with that.
Josie?
Yeah, it's unwise to make those sorts of threats, Larry, when you don't know what situation you're going to be in, and there'd be other things you might want to spend that money on. So
all right.
I wouldn't be doing that right now.
Cameron, this one to you first. Aaron Gilmore resigns. I think the squeeze was going on him from within. What do you see in this?
Well, he needed to resign. If he had acted with grace and humility, his words right at the beginning, and begged for forgiveness for being a silly prat, then he might not be in the situation that he's in now. But his arrogance has been his undoing, his throwing his mates under the bus, his constant denials, and then having to face the real truth coming out all the time, and his constant mistruths and misspeaking on this whole issue has led to him having to fall on his sword. But he's not going down without a fight. He's busily sending threatening texts that tomorrow will be Utu. So, the guy hasn't learned from his lesson, and he just needs to get the hammer real hard.
He might want to think about a Māori word, whakama, which means shame. But I mean, what a stupid thing to do, to send you a text saying Utu, Cam. That's daft, isn't it? I mean, it just shows his political naivety. But the interesting thing about this is that this is not a political hit. The opposition haven't set about to try and get a scalp here. This is all of his own making. It's a self-inflicted wound, and just shows to the poor character of the man. But I love the idea that the National Party's never been so happy to have a gay Māori radical with lefty tendencies about to become its next list MP.
Got to leave it there. Thank you, Josie Pagani and Cameron Slater on the Huddle. It's now 10 to 6.